Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo. So earlier I released a video offering a more free-to-play friendly PvE team with LUDOVIC, and in this part of the video I'm gonna do a $0 LUDOVIC, which is one copy of LUDOVIC with my free-to-play account, to just see whether or not even at the lower tier LUDOVIC is good for that team. So for those of you guys who do not know what team I'm talking about, right, you guys can refer to the video on top. That is the more free-to-play friendly variant for content pushing, in case you don't have a lot of celestial units, in case you don't have a lot of the hypogean units, or maybe you just have Reina but you don't have the other units out there. Okay, so I'm gonna sacrifice my other free-to-play account and then put for one copy to do the $0 versus $1,000 video, as well as do some testing with only one copy. So let's just start the pool very quickly. Okay, so we're gonna do the pool. Oh, very nice, we got him within one pool. Amazing stuff right here. Okay, so LUDOVIC in one pool, very nice. So we are not gonna waste too much of our resources for the testing. So right here we have him. I'm gonna just get his charms from the shop. Let me just get it quickly, and then we will begin some PvE testing with him. So the team idea will be still based around the concepts which I talked about in the previous video. So we have LUDOVIC with the thing. Okay, two of this is actually really good though. Yeah, we have his, we got the charms. We just recycle. Yeah, we just stick with what we have first, and then we just go with him with the levels. So right here, right, the team ideas which I talk about. So we don't have 520 on everyone, but we're gonna put in Hewin. So we shared the idea earlier, the 5 units which I'll say we will base the team around. Obviously, number 1 is LUDOVIC and Hewin, as well as Iron. So these 3 will form the core, but because my LUDOVIC in this account is a lot weaker, I don't know how much healing he can provide for the team. So we will have to test out first and then make the necessary adjustments. Okay, so let's start with some PvE runs. Haven't been pushing as much on this account as well. So this is my original team idea. We're gonna put in Hewin. We are gonna put in LUDOVIC to see how much heals he can offer for us. Yeah, because if we don't have enough heals, then we might have to use Torrent to tank up. So we have to take out all of the damage dealer so that Torrent can protect our Iron on the front line. So he died really quickly there. So that's all the issue, having him understated, because once he dies, then he's not gonna like continue healing the team up, unfortunately. But it's fine. I think we can still clear through this stage pretty easily. Okay, later we'll run through some of the heal numbers as well as the damage numbers to just see how much heal this unit has provided for the team. So for a comparison between like this unit at the lower tier as well as the Supreme Plus tier, I'm gonna do more testing in the $0 versus $1,000, which is basically base copy versus Supreme Plus copy of this unit. So for this one, if you take a look, right, actually the heal numbers are pretty respectable, even though he's only at the lowest tier. Okay, so I guess I can attribute this to because this unit's damage output comes more on the later part. So he is a pretty decent healer because his first skill as well as all the heal related skills are still there, even though at the lowest tier he's missing the heal focus, right, as well as this additional heal from EX Weapon 10, and obviously the stats that he is missing, but still it is still quite an optimal amount of heals just off these 3 skills alone. The fuel ability, the ability to absorb HP and then restore the healing charge on the field, as well as the ability to heal the weakest ally while dealing damage on the enemy, is just really impressive even at 1 copy. But I think one issue with him at the lower copy is because he's quite frail himself, right? So you might have to protect him well, if not he will just get sniped off. So his field is very powerful, but the field will just disappear if LUDOVIC disappears. So right here, as you guys can see, our Iron got melted. So for this one, I think I'm gonna take out Carolina and then I'm gonna put in Danny. Okay, so as to protect them, and I'm gonna put Danny to be the highest level. Okay, so I think he does still work even at 1 copy. The heal numbers are still looking really good. So that will be the focus for today's review in terms of him at 1 copy, because I don't think he does much damage at 1 copy though, although it's quite impressive considering that at 1 copy he does similar amounts of damage to my Supreme Plus Hewin just now. So let's take a look at this. Pretty impressive, to be honest. It's like 1 copy of this does roughly the same damage as Hewin, but then here it showcases the massive difference in terms of the healing numbers. So this massive gap could be just because Hewin just healed up all the low HP unit, and then for him he's not healing as much. But at the same time, like I mentioned, he's a lot lower in terms of his tiers. So obviously his numbers are supposed to be lower. So what we are trying to prove here is that, can this unit work at a lower tier? Is he actually a pretty free-to-play friendly unit? So right here we have this. I think we'll put Hewin there. Oh no, I think what we'll do is this, right? And then we see how, okay? So we'll put Danny on, we'll put our dear Vala on Danny, because Danny is pretty tanky, but Danny won't have the ultimate. But I think it's fine, because as long as we can sustain up, we should be able to do the job, okay? So you guys can see from here. Okay. I think I'm a little bit over leveled as well. Based on my damage output, we will take a look at the general levels across the other teams. But in terms of what Ludovic can do at 1 copy, it really is pretty impressive. Yeah, like considering the fact that he is so low on stats and he's missing like all the other good stuff at the back, for him to match up in terms of the heal to Hewin is really a good sign for him as a low cost healer. Yeah, like if you're somebody who's struggling at the lower tier, for example, you're not in a Song of Strife season, to be honest, he looks pretty decent. We just do a few more stages to just compare the healing numbers. I think he probably ain't gonna serve me that well in Dream Realm, but he has already proven his worth in King Croaker, which is what I'm gonna test later on as well. So we are just gonna do as much testing and then see his general power level at just 1 copy and just evaluate the unit at 1 copy to see whether or not he's a free-to-play friendly unit at just very low investments. Yeah, pretty impressive. Like, I think if you can position him at a location that the enemies cannot touch him and just let the flowers run wild, he's actually really strong. Yeah, look at this. It's like half the healing from Hewin, and on the match earlier it was more than Hewin. So the heals are pretty impressive. Just one more and then we'll go to the Dream Realm side. I certainly didn't expect this unit to turn out like this, because on the very first day of testing, which was yesterday, when I initially got him, I felt that he was sort of lackluster, but taking a look at the massive heal numbers itself, looks pretty impressive now. Yeah, in fact, he could just be this like super duper underdog that is like not only just good on Talin, right? Like I think this unit has proven his worth with Talin, like the ability to just massively heal Talin so that Talin can cycle through her skills, deal damage and heal up your whole team. But the amount of heal that he can provide just offers you quite a bit of variety in terms of team build. Yeah, because the sustain is there with this unit. Okay, so here loses out a little bit compared to Hewin. I think in a long drawn out fight, I think Hewin's heal will be more substantial, but I think it's really pretty impressive here. One last one before we go to Dream Realm. In terms of the arena side so far, I haven't really found much success with this unit, unfortunately, because the Iron meta is nearly everywhere, and I don't think 1 copy of him will work against Iron, because Iron is just gonna pull him up and then kill him immediately, which we already tested quite a lot yesterday. So I'm not gonna do that, at least not for this showcase. So what we're gonna do is show how good this unit is at 1 copy for PvE contents in general, your AFK stage as well as Dream Realm, and then just talk about how free-to-play friendly this unit is. Okay, very nice, nicely done here. Okay, so we have the results. Yeah, pretty impressive numbers. Okay, so that's it for this one. Let's go into the Dream Realm side. Okay, see whether or not he can prove me wrong. So I can't remember what's the best team setup for this account. I'm just gonna go with what's here and then think about who to replace with later on. Yeah, actually I don't know who to replace it. Okay, but anyway, let's just do one run first, and then we're not gonna just adjust the levels. Just gonna stick with what we have first, and then we collect the numbers, and then we see how well our dear Ludovic does against this boss at only 1 copy. So he has already proven himself to be decent at the higher tier at Supreme Plus with the EX weapon up. So now without the EX weapon, is this unit still gonna hit as hard or decently hard? That will be something that we are going to check with this run. Yeah, anything for the name of science, guys. So do remember to like and subscribe to help me recover from my loss of raid up ticket on just 1 copy of this unit. So we beat our own records, pretty nice. Okay, 34 billion. Should be able to secure a decent rank with this setup. Yeah, in terms of the late game side, my free-to-play account, at least this PTR one, is pretty solid. So let's just go to the damage distribution. Top 9, nice. Okay, so this is the damage distribution. Okay, so now what we are going to do is actually to take out. I mean, Reina is going to be a good addition to the team because of the factional bonus. Because there's no way I use our dear Ludovic together with Torrent without Reina, because I'll be missing a lot on the stats. Like 11% is quite big. So I think what I am going to do is I'm going to take out Merrily. Okay, and then I'm going to put Ludovic all the way at the back to protect Ludovic so that he doesn't get too much damage and he can use the Flora offensively. Okay, so this is what I'll do. Let's give it a try and see how it goes. So the reason why I'm positioning him all the way at the back, because I want to see his healing power as well as his damage potential. So I just want to keep him safe. Yeah, his damage potential comes from the flower and the healing is also from the field. So he doesn't actually need to be really close to the boss to function. That's something which I really appreciate of him. So positioning wise, I think he can be pretty flexible. Yeah, to be really honest, right? I'll be really honest with you guys. Considering the fact that he's only at 1 copy, I'm super impressed that I'm even hitting 30 billion, because Merrily was a massive damage source for the team. So Torrent died because of the insta-kill of the boss, unfortunately, but with the sustain of Smokey as well as Ludovic as well as Reina as well as the shielding of Corin, we actually survived towards the end. So if we take a look at this number is super duper impressive. Considering that we did the same amount of damage with our dear Torrent, which is Supreme Plus 5-star, and he's just 1 copy. So yeah, I actually pretty decent unit. As just 1 copy, I really feel like this is probably one of the most free-to-play friendly unit yet, because he not only solves your healer problem in case you are lacking sustain for your team, right? He also goes so well with Torrent, which is probably one of the most free-to-play invested unit. Like, I think if we talk about a unit that free-to-play players should always go for, it will and has always been Torrent moving forward. Iron is definitely up there, but if you talk about tank itself, right, Torrent will be the go-to for most people, at least for the free-to-play side of things. So Ludovic goes really well with that unit for sure. And then, right, not only that, he does pretty good damage for King Croaker, even at just 1 copy. So if you do decide to go further with him, his performance will definitely go up, and I'll definitely be doing more testing with him at Supreme Plus tier for the future bosses to just see whether or not Ludovic can be an amazing Dream Realm bosser moving forward for the other bosses. So that's it for this video. For the 1 copy comparison, super impressed by his performance. Very good unit, very free to play friendly unit, just at low investment itself. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys.